with you.
We are going to be in the Indy style kitchen.
Yes.
Earth House is in, and they've got some fabulous vegetables. We are doing stuff straight, fresh from the garden.
And we're going to find out more about what Earth House really is. Also, cancer affects more than just family members. It affects the four-legged family members as well. Patty Spitley here because it's Thursday to talk more about an event that's coming up.
And also summer travel. We're going to have you streamline the process, maybe save you some money in the process.
And do it stress-free as well.
Exactly.
Speaking of stressed travel, joining us right now, Adam Richman, you did kind of an overnighter from Chicago. Thanks for making the effort.
I love coming back to Indy. It's awesome being here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and you brought food.
I did. I brought a food truck.
Check this out.
See? Why stop at the food when you can have the food truck? But yeah, I partnered with Red Stag by Jim Beam.
Yay.
And they were kind enough to bring a whole bunch of bourbon to my house, and they let me play with it essentially. And because they have these new flavor expressions, they already had the black cherry, which was really popular. Then they added spiced, which has kind of overtones of cinnamon, and honey tea. And they said create a menu, and they wanted two sort of entrees, two side dishes, and a dessert. So this is my homage to the Louisville Hot Brown. It's honey tea bourbon infused turkey with bourbon candied bacon on Texas toast. This was one of my most fun to make. It was sort of inspired by a lot of the Asian duck dishes. It's the black cherry. I made a syrup with star anise and peppercorn, and the black cherry bourbon with a hoisin and scallion. Twice baked potato with ricotta, fontina, some honey bourbon butter, and candied bacon and chives. Right here, this is one of my favorites, and you must try these. These are dates that have been soaked in the spiced bourbon.
Go for it, Tracy.
Stuffed with Cabrales cheese, wrapped in prosciutto and fried.
Oh my Lord.
Pretty magnificent. Like dog treats for humans. Amazing.
Dog treats for humans.
And then here we have a bread pudding that actually, the first thing when you taste that spice, it's like holiday. It's amazing. And Bobby G, who's the master mixologist at Beam, created drinks to pair with each one. In fact, so I have the actual honey tea one that pairs with, if you want to give it a shot, I know it's early in the morning.
Well, no, it's not. It's late last night.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
And this is the one that, this actually has a little bit of balsamic in it, a little bit of apple, and,
Oh, really?
and a little bit of the spiced bourbon. That pairs with the date, and that pairs with the hot brown.
You think people are afraid to maybe try bourbon or try cooking with it because it's, I don't want to say it has a reputation, but it's considered, you know, that's a grown-up beverage.
Oh, absolutely, totally. You know, most people think bourbon, you have to have a meerschaum pipe and a rocking chair in Alabama or something like this, and elbow patches. And for me, I love bourbon. I lived in Louisville, Kentucky, and I appreciate a lot of the nuances of bourbon. And for me, I found truly, because I got involved with Red Stag, they approached me. When I tried the product, I love the fact that the flavors kind of open up other flavors that are already in the bourbon. It's not like, you know, masking a really good spirit with this artificial flavor. And it's awesome. And I think that it also kind of creates this great variety in terms of what you could do with a mixed drink, what you could do with cooking. And
I think people kind of take bourbon and they put it in one category, and they don't realize that with all the different flavors now, it's really, you can almost compare it to wine in some cases with how it's aged and everything else. So it's a lot of, very cool.
And it's been a blast, I gotta say, to cook with it, because it has a really cool sugar content, really nice smokiness to it. There's a nice corn element, especially in the honey tea one. So what's really great is you can play with like a profile, like you said, like wine. And I really think Jim Beam makes a great product, and I think Red Stag, I mean, you can pair with anything from Coca-Cola to balsamic and apple cider and lemon zest. And for me, cooking with bourbon is the most fun in the world. I'm working right now, you know, it's nothing to do with contract. Like, I have a blast. I'm working on making a black cherry bourbon caramel swirl ice cream.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
You gotta come back.
Fabulous.
The recipes are actually online. If you go to the Red Stag by Jim Beam Facebook tab, they're literally the drink recipes and the food recipes. I'm not trying to be a shill.
No,
I really
we'll link that because people want. The one thing I noticed though is your portion size.
I didn't make
quite,
these, bro. No, I didn't make
these. Quite reasonable compared to some of the
side. I will say that.
Some of the meals you sat down.
Right. Well, can you imagine coming out of a food truck with a 7-pound burrito? Like, it's, you know, there is too much of a good thing. But I mean, that's the other thing that I really dig about actually cooking with liquor. Like, I don't like those heavy, like, rum cakes, things that are soaked in liquor and stuff like that.
You need a nap afterwards.
Really kind of gummy.
Exactly, really gummy and really unappealing. And I think what's awesome is that the flavors are pungent without being overpowering. And you know, look, I've got ricotta, fontina, and candied bacon. I want to be able to taste those elements.
Right.
And I want the bourbon to sort of enhance it. And I think that to me is also really cool. If I were cooking with just straight bourbon, there may be a little bit more of that traditional sort of smoky corn alcohol forward taste. Oh yeah, black cherry, a little bit of cinnamon. Like, I took one sip and I was like, boom, this is like bread pudding, eggnog. That's the flavor.
Liquid inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Liquid inspiration. There's many, many forms of it, yeah.
Well, what's going on now? You have a lot of stuff on your plate, pun intended.
Literally. So obviously I'm in a couple more cities. I'm here in Indianapolis with the food truck. I'm getting a chance to meet the great people. Hopefully get some Mona on Trail coffee while I'm here.
There you go.
And then we're heading on to Chicago next week. And then actually there was a fan vote. And we're going to New Orleans, I understand, for another stop. And I have a new show that just aired last night. It's Adam Richman's Best Sandwich in America, Wednesdays at 9 on the Travel Channel. And right now this is my candidate for Best Sandwich.
There you go.
Probably because I made it.
But it's funny. I mean, you've got quite a following, and I think it's because you were just such an approachable, nice guy. We put it on Facebook that you were going to be here. We got a tremendous response. People obviously know you're from Man vs. Food, but you're branching out. There's some other things that are on your plate now, so to speak.
Yeah, man cannot live on 72-ounce steaks alone, I guess.
Lord knows you tried.
Yes, I'm really flattered. We were the little show that could. And I literally live in the same building I did in Brooklyn when I was on unemployment. I literally just moved up a floor like George and Wheezy. And to know that like I have an opportunity, like Beam is a brand that I knew when I was an actor on food stamps in Kentucky when I was working at Actors Theater of Louisville, and then to consider them a partner and an ally, and that they trusted me with their brand enough to do this, it blows my mind. Plus, Mom gets to tell everybody, oh, my son's the one on TV.
Is that what she does it?
I'll be just like that,
She's
too.
so cute.
He's the one that eats the things bigger than he is. That's
he doesn't do that anymore. He's got a sandwich show.
Right.
He's on the Travel Channel.
Well, we know you have to move on. We know you've been busy. We really appreciate you sticking around. We're going to link all that stuff you mentioned
Please,
to
you
our
gotta try the
website.
date. I want you to try the date.
IndyStyle.tv. Yeah, try the
She
date.
and I are having a date on TV.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on there, right? In a great way. You're probably familiar with.
Amazing.
You're probably familiar with these, right? A little bit.
I haven't done the pop fizz in a long time. I would do more like back in the day when I would do spicy challenges, like the Peptos,
Sure,
and the
that's
Zantacs, and the.
We do something on the show we call Unique Home Solution.
Okay.
And basically, you're just not your regular tool stuff. Different uses for different things.
Fair
and
enough.
I found out we've had a drought going on around here lately. It's been really dry, a lot of bugs, things like that. You can use Alka-Seltzer to take away the pain of a nasty bug bite.
Just pouring it on like a poultice?
Just put it in, like a cotton ball or whatever. Put it in a glass, do the plop, plop, fizz, fizz, and the aspirin in it takes away the pain, and the sodium bicarbonate helps with the itch.
That is
so
amazing.
If there's nothing in your medicine cabinet that's specifically for insect bites, but you have one of these, because you've been imitating him, his old show, just consider that if you get a nasty bug bite. Go to our website, IndyStyle.tv, and consider a unique home solution, and we'll put it on the show as well.
I would have worn a hat if I knew you were going to blow my mind.